in the fashion I am People BB. And I am the humble Mr. Brando.
Cold hands, warm heart, huh?
Cold-blooded.
It's my man. Good. Good. That's because Buzzy was. How y'all doing?
What's up, White Devil? Hey, Bethany.
What's up, Beth?
What's up, Steve-O?
Oh! Shout out Moy, who's in the house.
What's up, Ed and Mike TV?
Shout out my little kin folks.
What's
It's all
up?
about the love.
What's up, Margarita M?
It's all about the love, man. If your love folks don't do this with you, man, what you doing it for? Man, that's what I do, man. Gang, gang, gang.
Ed Money TV says $3, $4.
$3, $4, $5. Hit, huh?
July 19th, RI.
Call it then. Call it then.
That's what Steve-O said. That's
Quit playing about it. Call it then. Everybody call it then.
Call it
Quit
in.
playing.
Comment down below. Comment down below.
Anybody get close to the date, I'll give him $25,000 right now.
$25 in dinar?
$25,000 dinar. I'll give it up right now. I'm gonna go buy some more.
Well, wait. How you gonna, if they call it in, and how you gonna know when they close?
When it's close, we'll watch this video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's the closest to the dollar, to the penny. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give. I don't care if it revalues for $1 million. Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening. Okay. Go ahead.
We're gonna give them that note anyway. Boom. That's on everything. Come on in, Bug. Sit down, Bug.
She don't want to sit down.
$25,000.
25,000 IQD.
IQD.
It's Iraqi dinar.
Say hi.
You want to make an appearance?
No, she can't make an appearance. Just say hi.
Hi.
Well, you got to come over a little bit closer. Go to the mic and say hi.
She can say it right there. Just say hi.
Hi.
There.
It's good now. Say, I'm the Bug.
She's like, whatever.
I'm just here to watch.
Okay, she's just watching.
If you can't do a family, who can you do it with?
She's like, because I'm a lady.
Man, if y'all don't know now, you know. Got my kinfolk in the house tonight. That's my daughter, man. Y'all give me thumbs down on my daughter, man. I'm giving you fingers up. You know what it means, man. You know what it is. Gang, gang all day.
Michael says, what's up with the super high prices on new low denomination bills?
Man, here's the thing. This is what I'm kind of thinking. Like, they're trying to speculate on what's happening, meaning the exchange centers, right? So they're raising the price, but the dinar inflation rate hasn't changed, and the dinar actual exchange rate hasn't fluctuated past 11.93. So why are they charging more? I think these dinar sites, these exchange centers, are full of crap. You know what I'm saying? They're overcharging, man. I've heard some people paying $850 a mil. I've heard some people paying as high as $1,200 a mil. So, I mean, what's the deal? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's the deal? It all depends on what you're paying for, right? Shout out to 45, 41 subscribers. That's not
4,541 subscribers, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out for real, man. All y'all, thank you, man. First of all, shout out to Patreon. Gang, 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 gang. Miss BB had an announcement about these shiny things right here. What was your announcement, Miss BB?
I had an announcement.
Yeah.
That I'm going to be sending them out.
You got the first wave coming out now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the month, we're going to send some more.
Mm-hmm.
So first wave's coming out right now. Patreon, gang, gang. If you're a part of Patreon, you've earned your coin. You got to be a member at least 2 months. You got to be active. And you've got to be in, where we can reach you. Remember, she's going to reach out to you because it's all about getting in touch with you to get you your coin.
I'm doing the first 25 this week, right? Is that what we're doing? 25 this week?
Yeah. We're gonna knock out the first 25 this week.
Mm-hmm.
That means we got, well, that's a quarter of us, right? No, it's less than a quarter. It's less than a fourth. We're gonna get 200 a night, so it don't matter, right? So if you want to earn your Patreon coin, you got to be a member at least 2 months. You got to be active and voluntary and everything else. And so you know who you are. So whatever, okay? So Patreon shout out, Facebook shout out, right? Twitter shout out, right?
Hey, James Reed, shout out.
Shout out all the homies, right? You talking about shout out Pimp, shout out Beth, right?
Yep.
Shout out.
I said Bethany during the introduction.
Oh, you did? Bethany?
Yeah, well, the music was playing.
Babe, you know what I mean? Shout out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out everybody that contributes. Lisette, Nancy, shout out Daza, shout out
Dennis.
Mr. Frazier, shout out the Pimp, you know what I'm saying?
You already shouted him out.
I did, Pimp.
You already shouted him out.
Okay, Monday.
Is we live, Pac-Man? Is we live?
Is you live? Is you ready?
Okay, so let's do the introductions.
Please.
I am the everly awesome April BB.
Woo! I'm like Ric Flair. I am woo!
Ric Flair without the blonde hair.
Woo! Woo!
Ooh, don't get Daisy.
Woo!
Stop. And then you got to kick her out.
I am Daisy.
Gang.
And Daisy is Mr. Brando. You know what it is. Stop.
You get her crunk like that, then want her to stop.
Welcome to the reinstatement of the Iraqi Dinar IQD chat. Now, everybody know what time it is, right? So everybody's looking at me like, hey, Mr. Brando, the date time.
Gerardo said, Mr. Brando,
Yep.
I respect. Listen.
Go ahead, I'm saying, yo.
Mr. Brando, I respect you. I respect you don't like the dates and rates, but for your gang, we need to be ready. And I know you have something special that we don't know.
I got two things you don't know. Number one,
I don't know.
You don't know either. I didn't tell you either.
He's wrong. I called him today, 1-411.
If you look at a Google exchange rate, right, and you look at one Iraqi dinar for $1 US. I'm going to give you guys a bomb real quick, okay? This is a bomb.
Wait. That's not a dollar, a US dollar. You mean $1 dinar for
$1 US. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen this many times before. I know what I'm doing.
It don't say $1.
It doesn't need to. It just needs to say right there, United States dollar, because it means $40. It means $1. A dollar is singular. Dollars is plural. I know. One Iraqi dinar is worth 0.00084.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys want a bomb. I'm giving them a bomb. One Iraqi dinar is 0.0084. Okay? If you reverse that, okay? Let me go back over here. I'm giving y'all some love. This is some love, okay? I'm giving y'all some game. This is what we call game when I was back doing it back in the day, okay? This is called game. So that basically means one Iraqi dinar is 0.0084. Just answer it regular and see what it is. If it comes up
hello?
One Iraqi dinar is 0.0084.
I'm sorry? Who's calling?
No, tell him.
Oh, it's for...
Tell him I'm busy right now. I have to call him back.
Okay, he's busy right now. Can he call you back? All right, bye-bye.
So that rate is 0.0084. If you look at Kuwait is 0.030. Excuse me, I goofed it up. Iraqi dinar is 0.00084. Now, if you want to look at exchange rates, you want to say the deletions of the 3 zeros and how you can substantiate the final, not the final, but a cost of the Iraqi dinar. If you delete the 3 zeros off, well, really, that's awesome.
Video games, huh?
I play games. I love them. But if you take the 3 zeros off the Iraq, exchange rate and you compare it to the exchange rate of the Kuwait dinar, it would be 0.84 and the Kuwait dinar would be 0.30.
Mhm.
That would make it 2.5 times more valuable. No, that's what I need right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, just go right there. Touch that. So I think a lot of people mistake, because I did the reverse. If one whatever was worth one whatever, I think a lot of people mistake the 11.90 to the dollar. To me, it's worth $1.20. But if it's worth 84 cents, you see what I'm saying? It's still worth 2.5 times more valuable than the Kuwaiti dinar. So when you ask about how much is the actual Iraqi dinar worth, if you use the exchange rates as your metric, then it's going to be worth 0.3 to 0.84. That's a huge disparity. No one's ever said that. Now, they've never said they're going to change the exchange rate. All they said they were ever going to do was delete the 3 zeros, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the exchange rates per Google and you see the 11.9, you can't use that one. You got to use the same one, the 0.3 to equal $1, or the dollar to equal 0.00084. The deletion of the 3 zeros would be basically 2.5 times bigger. So when people tell me, well, how do you find out your, the value for your Iraqi dinar? I'm just using the numbers that they give me, and I'm trying to tell everybody that if you delete 3 zeros, which they said they're going to do, they never said they're going to redenominate their money. They said they have lower denominations coming out. That's not a redenomination. You feel me? So that's a big difference. That's why when people get this whole, tell me how it's not a redenomination, or tell me how I got to earn this. Dude, I'm not trying to tell you anything. Read the facts for yourself, and then you can tell me what's different. Mm-hmm. Call me, and you can tell me, right? But I'm trying to tell you that they always talk about the exchange rate, and they talk about the nominal rate. If you use those numbers, it's 2.5 times more valuable than Kuwait. 2.5 times. So don't argue with me. Argue with Kuwait. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's an easy one, right? I don't have to explain that one. Now, if you're going to sit back and look at the news for what it is, the news right now is just so freaking crazy.
Is it crazy?
Yeah, because right now you're looking at our serious steps in simplifying procedures to jump on our daily revenue at unprecedented rates. The General Authority of Customs announced on Tuesday that the Customs Centers record unprecedented revenues exceeding daily rates recorded in the previous years. Now, remember, one of the things that they had to set up was taxes and tariffs for the borders and rates. So now they're doing that. So since they've been doing that, more money's been pouring into Iraq. So if you look at it from the general budget and a series of repeated achievements of its customs centers, the Center of Kermit of Asar, Middle East, reports daily revenues expected 1 billion dinars by exceptional efforts by its employees despite the challenges of customs conditions and severe shortages. Now remember, if you guys remember the article I posted on Monday, was the whole Minister of Education, right, said that they've been selling textbooks to colleges, kids, whatever. They basically earned 100 million. Now, the customs authority are telling you that they earned 1 billion in tariffs and customs since it's been open. Now, I know for a fact they have not collected tariffs and customs as long as they've been collecting monies on books. Now, you probably look at me and say, well, that has nothing to do with the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it does. If you think about it, well, let's do it. Hello?
Hey, Mr. B, man, what's going on? You cut your head off, so I'm going to hang up. I just let you know you back up a little bit or move the camera back. You cut your head off.
Oh, okay. Bet. Thanks, Mr. Joe.
Shout out to Joe. Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe. Shout out to Joe. But if you think about it from the sense of why does it matter what are they collecting in revenues for taxes or for school books, you got to remember that's all going back into the central budget, right? If it's all going back into the central budget, then what happens basically is you have a surplus. So by them not passing the supplemental budget to account for all these extra monies that they're getting is really crazy. But I'm going to show you guys, like I did the other day, that not only is the CBI probably new governor in place, we know the Minister of Defense, Defense is in place, and Interior is in place, but of Education is in place. Now, the Iraqi cabinet issues a number of economic decisions. Project for the establishment of industrial islands of the export of crude in the Iraq territorial waters. The Ministry of Construction and Housing, indeed, the establishment of permanent pedestrian bridge in the areas of creation and the schedules of the investment plan of the ministry. Management, witnessing approval of the theme of improving the business and investment environment. That's the big thing right there. So now look, the cabinet just issued a big time statement. The statement says that they must approval of the theme of improving the business and investment environment. How do you improve the investment environment in Iraq? You go ahead and establish a rate that is viable to the country. It doesn't, listen, I think people get caught up so much in what the reinstatement is and don't understand of what a float is. There's a clean float and a dirty float. A clean float says that if we know it's going to rise 2 to maybe 5% higher than what it is every day, like Vietnam does, right? If it's a dirty float, it can go as high as demand goes. So if demand, on exchange, if the Iraqi dinar came out at a reinstatement rate, because it's a reinstatement rate, not a revaluation rate, a reinstatement rate of whatever, it's going to rise exponentially the first 30 days. That's why I tell people all the time, if you want to really capitalize on your money, treat the Iraqi dinar as you would treat Bitcoin when it reinstates.
So, okay, let me ask you this. So a clean float would be what?
Plus or minus maybe 5%. Like
so plus or minus
5%, whatever the reinstatement rate is. I'm not speculating on what that is.
Right. So okay, so if at the reinstatement rate, we know it was 3 something, right?
I'm not saying that.
But so you're saying plus or minus 5% of that, right?
Right.
And that's a clean one, right? A dirty one is what?
It can go as high or as low as it wants. It could rise up to $18 million or it can drop to -$5.
So remember when I first got into this investment, they were always speculating $1.21 or something like that. So is that kind of like a dirty float?
No, that's exactly what I was describing in the first panels when I told you 0.0084 or 0.3. A lot of people mistake the actual exchange rate. How do you know it's more valuable than what it is? Kuwait is 0.3 equals $3 and some change to the American dollar, right? If you delete 3 zeros off the Iraqi dinar off the same rate, it's 84 cents. That's 2.5 times more valuable than the Kuwaiti dinar. Okay. See what I'm saying? That $1.20, that's hash. Nobody fools with that because they don't understand it. You have to compare rate to rate, item for item, and make it be provable. Okay. I can't prove it vice versa because the Iraqi money that we hold is not worth 3.5 times the value of what Kuwaiti dinar is. But if you reverse those scenarios and make it to where it's what is your currency worth versus the dollar, then you have to delete 3 zeros because that's what Iraq said they want to do. And then that's what your rate would be worth. Okay? That's free game. And they tell you that because they tell you that they want to improve the business investment environment. The only way you can do that is create free capital flow.
Right.
Okay. If I'm an investor looking at a business, I'm not looking at one choking and dying because it can't get loans or it can't get investors, it can't get whatever. I'm looking at a business that is clear books, opaque. I can see through it. I know transparency. I'm looking at honesty, right? And that's the Iraqi dinar. Each dollar you hold of a dinar is actually a share of that country. A lot of people don't look at it like that, but it is.
Okay.
Al-Mamandi announces the start of implementation of the Diwani command on the crowd of mechanisms of the precision proxy. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. We are started implementing the Diwani order on popular mobilization. A mechanism was put in place to complete the file position by proxy, the formation of a professional committee to audit the names of private positions and Director General. Now, notice it doesn't say special grades or MPs. So now they're telling you that they're overhauling, right? They're trying to take over all the ministries and manager positions and make them well, right? And they say that they need to hurry up and do that. We have a large number of vacancies in the departments to work a balance in the special grades. Now, they're specifically talking about the special grades like the CBI governor, right? Because remember, the CBI governor, I don't care what anybody says, is technically accountable to the finance minister. So it's not that I'm looking for a lock to pull the trigger because he could. I'm looking for a lock to pull the trigger because he can. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Not because he could. He could do it anyway. He could have done it a week ago. But because he can before he exit, okay? Now, this is why what I'm talking about, the Minister of Education, there are not being any proxy positions in either the special grades or the Minister of Education because you're operating by default and not announced until they are installed. That's what that last article just told you. I'm not worried about the special grades or by default proxy positions because they tell you. And the last line of this article says, he pointed out on the beneficiary of the Minister of Education provided $100 billion of the financial budget by printing textbooks. Do you see my point? We know that Minister of Education made $100 million or dollars and reported to the budget. It says he. It doesn't say she. It says he. Okay? The banking sector has responded very quickly to digital shifts. Now, a lot of people think that Iraq is archaic. They're behind the times. Remember, if they're on SWIFT, they're using a blockchain technology. If their banks are Basel III compliant, they are probably crypto compliant. They just don't want to be because of what that for the decentralization of their own money. To de-dollarize means that you take the dollar and you go away from it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Dollarization means that you go towards the dollar and you hug it. That's what they're doing now. They have dollarization. Not that they're using dollars as MCP, but what they're using is they're using the dollars as a peg. That's what's keeping their currencies artificially suppressed. Does that make sense? So we want them to de-dollarize from our system, right? And that's what we want for all countries.
When you say de-dollarize, you mean like de-peg?
De-peg, that's it, yes.
Okay.
I want all countries to de-peg. That will weaken the dollar and make it more tradable on a platform. You don't need the gold standard. The gold standard can be manipulated by countries that have more gold than you do in the ground. You see what I'm saying? Not what you own, but what if you look up and Tanzania has $400 billion more dollars worth of gold than anybody else? So Tanzania has a right to rule the earth? It doesn't. So I don't like the gold standard. I like an asset-backed standard.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody's on the same playing field. I don't like the gold standard for America if no one else is on the gold standard. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because no one else is playing by the same rules, and no one else is playing by the same rules. The fiat system works. Let's play by it because you know what? The fiat system is going to make every one of you rich if you're invested in new currencies like I am. If you look towards the gold standard, your money's muted because that country doesn't have as much gold. It weakens their currency. So get off the freaking gold standard and get on what it is. And that's real talk. You don't understand what the gold standard is then. Because if everybody's on the gold standard, the countries that don't have the most gold weaken their currency. That's stupid. I want capitalism. If I do the best work, I get the best money. I want the United States dollar to do what it do. Make me a bunch of money. Even a devalued dollar is worth more than a Vietnamese dong. Feel me on that. So if you're on the gold standard, you're Vietnam, you're holding a bunch of gold, and the United States evens the playing field because of gold. What does that do me any good? We all hold devalued money. So I'm the half-wit in a retard contest.
So does that make the dong more valuable?
No, it makes it less valuable.
Oh.
Because my money's less valuable.
Oh.
Money's only more valuable on a fiat system because it has to do with a lot of checkpoints.
Okay.
I don't want the gold standard. It's dumb. It's dumb for what I'm doing. Now, go on the gold standard after I get rich. Once I get rich.
But then our dollars is going to be worth crap.
No, because you're going to stick it all in gold. Think about it.
I wasn't.
In the land of the dimwit, the half-wit is king. So if I know they're going down this gold standard road, right? Mm-hmm. And all our money's going to devalue, and they're going to put all their value into gold, what's stopping me from being an investor and putting all my money into gold? And I'll be in control of things.
Is gold going up?
No, they're going to make gold an even playing field amongst all countries. That's the only way the gold standard works. It doesn't work if I'm on the gold standard and Britain's not.
They messing with stuff. They're messing up my Bitcoin.
No, they're messing with your minds. You guys don't understand.
They're messing with the crypto space.
GE enters 3 service switching stations in Baghdad. Remember, one of the things they had to do before they could reinstate their currency was provide sufficient electricity and services to areas that were not manned well, okay? Now they're going to do that. What's so funny? Read it to me.
Lean back, Uncle Joe.
Oh, sorry.
He like Fat Joe. Lean back. Lean back. There you go.
Okay. Senior oil executives have predicted that Iraq could surpass Saudi Arabia as an oil producer. Now, I'm going to let you all know a little secret, okay? Iraq will surpass.
Okay.
Excuse me. Saudi Arabia. Venezuela will surpass Iraq. Now, it's the quality of oil that goes into the refinery that makes the bigger difference, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's why Iraq will surpass Venezuela, because the gold is almost pure. I mean, the oil is almost pure. In Venezuela, it's dirty oil. They refine it more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at countries that are, look, these are the tells if you want to buy a currency. Look at the devalued currency. Look at hyperinflation. Look at countries that have been invaded and now are in talks with the IMF, and look at countries looking to reinsert their currency based upon certain criteria by the IMF. Zimbabwe, Venezuela. Okay, let me tell you all like this. And this is Mr. Brown just free thinking, okay? So everybody gets mad at me about not talking about dong or not talking about any other currency. But the currency everybody should be actually questioning right now, if you want to get super rich, I mean richer by super rich, is Venezuela.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Venezuela is the new Zimbabwe.
I'm gonna have to do some research.
Got to.
What's it going for?
Change. I mean, because they have so much hyperinflation. The only thing we're waiting on right now is U.S. invasion. If the U.S. invades Venezuela, which I think they will, once Iraq goes and once the dong goes, Venezuela will make more the next generational people rich if you hold enough of it. And it's locked. Venezuela is the new Iraq. I mean, more so than Zimbabwe is, in my opinion. Now, I think that people have to understand my position on that I'm not saying buy Venezuelan Bolivar. What I'm saying is that watch them, because if you're looking for the next big ride to get on, if you don't have a lot of dinar or a lot of dong, your money's funny, look for Venezuela to be your next play. That's free. I gave you that for free. I don't charge for this.
Venezuela, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So you think after the dinar, after dong, Venezuela, if I understand correctly.
Yeah. And Venezuela in a big way.
Why do I recall something about them lopping though? Remember, it seemed like we tagged.
Oh, they're gonna lop. They're gonna lop, but they're gonna lop their currency from like 50,000 to 1 down to like 20,000 to 1. When they go to the 20,000 to 1, buy that shit like a drunken idiot.
So don't buy it now.
No, not now. Wait now.
Because I don't know why. I thought I read an article, maybe it was last year or the year before, that they were lopping.
They're gonna lop. No, yeah. They're gonna lop. And what I tell you about countries that are run by communists,
they don't work. It don't work.
It never works.
No.
And that's why Vietnam is a dark horse, right? Because Vietnam has to become a basically more democratic type of trade environment. Okay. And this is the game I give you guys on different platforms. And I'm not just saying this, I give it to you guys. I'm giving it to y'all for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even tell people on Patreon about that. Patreon's a whole different level of things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if you're watching markets and understand what I'm saying, look at the history of currencies that are going to revalue. What happened to Japan? What happened to Germany? What happened to God, who else got invaded by the United States? all their currency revalued and all of them are thriving. China. Think about China. Even China, we didn't invade them probably, but you know what we did? We don't revalue their currency because we enabled them to trade. Trade is the new currency, but currency is the new blockchain. Blockchain is those countries that are going to adopt certain principles that most countries won't adopt because they're scared of decentralization. And decentralization is what everybody wants if you're in the fiat game. You want everybody's currency to free float on the merit of what it is. And that's what people don't understand about this currency game. You don't want any of a currency pegged to a dollar. You want every currency pegged to what it has. And that's why when you see articles about OPEC, they're going to be the biggest supplier of OPEC, their spending patterns, their GDP, and you don't get excited about someone like in Iraq, you're asleep at the wheel. You don't understand what you're looking at. Because those are the qualities that make a country great. And those are the qualities that make a country a lot of money. Okay? Mm-hmm. And those are the countries I'm interested in. Now, another article today said Iraq disputed territories agreement reached between Peshmerga and the Iraqi forces. So now, doesn't this sound like, if you just read that off the headline alone, that Article 140 is complete and they're going to implement it? Because what this article basically does is the Iraqi government and the Ministry of Peshmerga have reached an agreement regarding the security of the disputed areas. The Iraqi government and the Minister of Peshmerga have reached an agreement regarding the security of disputed areas. Is anybody else cheering?
I am.
They just told you they just reached an agreement on Article 140. Not based upon a census, not based upon anything, but based upon the Minister of Defense and the Minister of Interior of the Peshmergas. They reached an agreement. That's why it was so important they post why the Peshmergas, their whole cabinet was seated. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why they did that. This came out 2 days later. Do you see what I'm saying? This game is free. I'm giving you this game. Do you feel me? I mean, honestly, do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't, speak now. Look at the thing. Do they understand what I'm saying? The Peshmergas and the Iraqi government came to an agreement, have reached an agreement regarding the security of the disputed areas. How would those two people know to talk if the Peshmerga system wasn't done and the Iraqi system didn't get finished because they never mentioned that before? So if they already told it to you, it's already done. Don't get it twisted and don't be stupid. Don't be like Mr. Brando and read things 50 times, okay? The agreement between the Iraqi government and the Ministry of Peshmerga is to provide security and bring stability back to the areas that are witnessing a security gap in the disputed areas. They didn't say anywhere else. They said in the disputed areas. So it was a translation error. We would have got it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So doesn't that sound kind of like Article 140 is kind of done?
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
I'm kind of on to, okay, what's next on the list?
Okay, well.
Like, where we at? What's going on? What's popping?
I'm telling you what's popping.
No, I mean, like, for this, the list. I mean, like, where we standing with that?
We can go over that, too. Mm-hmm. Young Barzani is working this thing out. Barzani's government has a position of application of solving problems with Baghdad. So I just read you an article that basically stated that the Peshmergas and Iraq had worked out their differences with Iraq, right? So there's no differences. So it's funny how the news reads because you got to understand what you're reading. Mm-hmm. If you know what I know, why would you say that the Interior Minister had worked out disputed areas and on the next breath say, well, once they work those things out, well, then we'll have something else, right? That's not true. They've already worked it out. Okay?
Yeah, Ron says, what's up with Article 8?
Well,
is it done?
Ron, first of all, I'd ask Ron, do you know what Article 8 really stipulates? That you accept international currency. So, obviously, because their currency isn't international, they're not Article 8. And I'm not dogging out Ron. What I'm trying to say to Ron is, understand Article 8 is a post-reinstatement.
So it's a post-reinstatement thing. So, right. I mean, hey, I didn't understand either. I just know we got this list right here. So, basically, we're going to already be the sanctions will be lifted and it will be a free flowing currency. And then that means they're Article 8.
Correct. Now you're going to say, well, wait a minute. You're talking about post Article 8 stuff right now by talking about Article 140. You are. Mm-hmm. If I just did, right? I mean, that all goes hand in hand. The reason why Article 140 and Article 130 of the Constitution is because each Iraqi has the deserving right to be free, have housing, have money, and be wealthy. They're designed to be rich, right? Article 140 says they're going to have all disputed areas in account and everybody's safe and they got their areas back, right? So now if you look at Article 8, the reinstatement of their money, and I think what he's really trying to say is the ACL law, the hydrocarbon law is that when all these people are safe, we know they're going to deserve to be wealthy, they got housing and everything else. Now we're going to share in the oil revenues, which we know are about 1234 and some change of piece. And that's the question he's really asking. Is the ACL law is in effect? Because if the ACL law, if you know they're passing it out, they can't sustain giving out $1,234 a piece for more than basically 3 years. That's game. Dang, I just broke that down like I'm crazy. Like I've been doing this for real. I could really do this for real. Do you understand where I was going? You don't understand it all, do you? Well, you don't understand the article like I do.
Right, because I thought the HCL law was tied to Article 140.
It is, but the HCL law is tied to Article 140 only if Article 140 is settled. So they're trying to give you kind of a TF, that's called a trick blank, right? So they're telling you, we can't give you money unless all the disputed areas are settled, right? Mm-hmm. But if the areas are disputed that are settled, how do we know how many dinars to give each individual?
Well, we did that the other day.
Because we knew, because they told us.
Right.
So what am I telling you? They already know.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. That's free game. I don't even charge for that. I don't charge for any info on Iraq. The Turksmen citizens demonstrated in the province of Kirkuk on Wednesday to protest the demolition of the 240 houses belonging to them while demanding the application of Article 140 of the Constitution. Now, here's the crazy question. So you got Kirkuk, you got the Turksmen, you got Iraq, right? Now, the Turksmen, they could throw a real feather in this if they say, well, look, we don't have any beneficial rights to Article 140 unless they fall under Kirkuk or unless they fall under Baghdad. Now, so while these people are protesting, I put it up on Twitter and Facebook and said, look, see what they're doing, not what they're saying. What they're saying is that Article 140 is more prudent. Now, Kirkuk has already said they're in the battle. Iraq said they're in the battle. We're the Turksmen. So you got to remember, it's got to be free for all Iraqis to be settled on the disputed areas. You know what I'm saying? It's not that simple. Now, it is that simple when you look at it all being under the sovereign umbrella of Iraq, right? So the Turksmen will get their place in time. It just may not be in this article. It may be something else. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But you got to understand, if they're talking about settling disputes, especially in the fact of Article 140, and especially in the fact of the HCL, which is Article, HCL is not an article, excuse me. What they're basically saying to you is that we've got all the disputed areas done, and we're ready to dispute with the money. Okay? That's huge. That's huge.
We don't have a lot of questions. The question we do have is more on the exchange side. Can you please find out for me which Chase banks in Kentucky will do the exchange? Cameron, I would think all banks would.
But Cameron, go out to Amazon, spend $7.99. If you don't want to be a member of Patreon, there are websites out there that will tell you how to check the security measures of your dinar.
Well, I mean, I don't think is that what he's asking?
Yeah.
Says, can you please find out for me which Chase bank in Kentucky will do the exchange?
It doesn't matter if the currency passes all the security measures and it's an internationally accepted currency and Chase Bank accepts it, then you have to worry about that. The only thing you got to worry about, Cameron, is your currency legit?
Do the auctions need to stop before the RI can take place?
No. That's a total myth. It's kind of telling y'all, unless the Dow hits 27,000, Pimp A in April, woohoo! Unless it hits 27,000, y'all not going to see a reinstatement I don't
didn't say that.
Hold on. I don't believe in RVs. I believe in RIs. That's the first thing.
Why are you shouting our
Because
names
you
out?
and Pimpy, I'm calling you both out.
Call me out, but why are you shouting our names out?
Because both y'all said, well, a certain person said that if the the Dow hits 27,000, it may happen.
Well,
It's all connected. That's what they said. It all works together. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. A country is sovereign.
That is not.
Hold on. A country is sovereign. One exchange rate for securities does not have anything to do with an exchange rate of a currency of another country. Understand that. And if you don't understand that, then you have no business being in this investment anytime.
So let me set you straight, because you was on a text message with Pimpy and me when I sent him the Donald Trump tweet. Now that was a joke, and that was some shade, and that was a
27,000.
I never said 27,000 for the Dow, because one don't touch the other. Let me say that. If that's the case, when Bitcoin hit $1 million, it's gonna RI.
Okay. There you go.
So
that's prophetic.
I did not say
that's prophetic.
I did not say that. Me and Pimpy are entertained, and that's why we did that. Thank you very much. Go on, yeah, he wants to say something too. Hold on, Pimpy.
All y'all fraud.
Hey,
Miss April, get him, Miss April.
because
Get him.
I'm like, okay, this is entertainment. That's all we are entertained. Can we be entertained? That's all it was. We wasn't trying to run to the bank when he said 20. Number one, he said 27 on a Friday, and let the record show June 21st, it did not happen. Because we were sitting in
Hold on.
We were sitting at the hospital.
Hold
I
on.
was looking at my phone.
Hold on.
It did not happen.
Hold on.
No,
But what is the S&P going up 3,000 points?
Let me say this. It's for kicks and giggles. I'm being entertained. I know from investing in stocks that one don't have nothing to do with the other. If that's the case, me getting a brand new job, that means the RI gonna happen. But it's about to rain up in here. So me and Pimpy were being entertained.
Let's get real.
We were being entertained. So let's me and Pimpy were entertained. It was entertainment. Ha ha, like watching a video. Okay, thank you.
Plus, we were saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with adding in more possible good vibration. Hey, whatever it takes to make this thing happen, I'm all for it.
Right.
I'm all for it. But I'm not saying one has to do with the other.
Right. We were just being entertained.
Floppers.
We know that.
No, that's not true. You'll go back and watch your own video. I said it was for pure entertainment, just like me swing trading with fictional $1 million. Until the RI happened, it can't happen.
Fake money all the time.
Right. It's monopoly money.
Okay, hold on. Both you girls get your panties out of bunch. Okay.
That's you over there, Mr.
Now, I'm gonna get back to the real.
Oh man.
Shot caller.
I'm messing with all y'all. I'm just messing with y'all. Hold on, can I say this? Dow, please hit 27,000 on Friday. I'm just bullshitting.
Sleeping with Daisy. Mr. Brando gonna be sleeping with Daisy. That's what's gonna happen.
Excuse me, if that stuff hits 27,000 on Friday, you know we're gonna give them hell.
Hey, can I tell you this? Can I tell y'all this? If it is 27,000 on Friday, pimp.
Jeff call in, and we're gonna give them hell together. Especially if it hits on the Sunday after, like he thinks it's gonna happen.
What? Can you imagine the hell I'm gonna catch?
If it does, I'm just saying what if. If it does, we're gonna have to give you hell in Vegas together.
Okay, can I say this real quick though? I mean, I'm joking with you two, but think of the perfect storm real quick, okay?
Okay.
The Dow hits 27,000. This Sunday is a definite holiday in Iraq.
It is.
Okay?
The 14th.
The 14th.
Now you're just making his point. And you know what I mean?
I know I am. Hold on. I can pull prophecy out of anything I want to. That's the cool thing about prophecy.
Girls.
Okay? Shout out to my girls. Whatever. But hold on. I can make prophecy out of anything. Okay?
Me too.
But I'm telling you guys this.
The Dow's gonna hit 27,000.
I will be.
And I'm running the chase. How you doing? Who you be with? Swipe. Now.
Hey, wait, I just gotta say something. Now I know there's a slight delay in the video, but the face that Miss April's making is like, I love it.
Shady Faye over here trying to take a page out of my book, April BB's book.
But
because there's people asking about it because not everybody, I guess, is in the group, Miss April. Can you put the link to our King of Guru group? Because I was talking to people in the group and I said in the chat, did everybody get what I was saying with that post about the infrastructure they made? They're saying that in the budget for 2020, they're putting 4.5 billion dinars towards infrastructure. And I said, now, look, you got to look at it this way. At the current rate, it's only about $300 million.
Are you talking about the Facebook group?
Yeah, because people are asking about where I posted it at. Put it in, if you could post it, the King or group.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so I said, for those of you who are not in the group, but you should be in there, by the way, here's what happened. I had made an observation and a statement, because a lot of people saying, do you think the RVs are really going to happen?
Are you talking about your Skull and Bones post?
No, not that one. Not that one. That's for my conspiracy people because I thought they'd get a kick out of it.
Okay, go ahead.
But I'm talking about the one when I said I was trying to see there's an alternative way to answer your question as to whether or not an RV is going to happen. What I was saying that there was an article stating that Iraq was going to, in a 2020 budget, put aside 4.5 billion dinars to do the infrastructure. And I said, okay, so look, this is a good, perfect example to use. If you go over to where the conversion is on Google or Yahoo, and you put in $4.5 billion at the current rate, it only comes out to about $370+ million. What kind of damn infrastructure do you think is going to happen in Iraq with just $370 million? Or does it make more sense that they know the rate change is going to happen and the 4.5 billion dinars is actually 4.5 billion dinars, which makes more sense. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to say in there.
Gotcha.
Listen, y'all, and I'm giving crap to a couple people that I actually really respect and I really like. One, I'll say his name, my boy DeeDee. Okay, DI. Y'all know who he is.
Dinar Investor.
I like him. I like that guy.
And then go, you know who he is. No, we don't.
Hey, Dinar Investor is a good guy. I've had him on my show. The only Dinar person I've ever had on my show, I like him. I give him shit because I like him, okay?
No, I admit it. I told him I tease him too. I tease about him.
Okay, and number two.
Videos as well.
And number two, when I got Miss BB and Pempe on that train, I was like, oh, okay. So secretly, I was like, you know what? On the cool, I hope it happens the way he says. But you know what? Reality striking right there because you know why? There's no Minister of Education and there's no CBI governor. Now, there is a Minister of Education and CBI governor because they're not telling you that.
Oh, well, they've been named, but that don't mean they won't just turn around and tell us.
Well, think about this. I got a plausible story for everybody. I'm not saving this for Patreon. I'm going to give it to y'all.
Okay.
I'm being serious right now, okay? This is real dead serious. If I was Iraq and I knew my central bank governor is not Iraq, and I knew that my Minister of Education was seated, and I'm doing all these plans, right? I reinstate my currency anyway. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they're in place anyway. And once I announce the reinstatement of the currency, then I would announce the special grades, and then I would announce the Minister of Education because it would hold no meaning. It'd be moot. Everybody's hanging on one thing. But if they took their eye off the prize and the currency was actually really reinstated, then we're all looking for something, and then nothing. You get it? It's a prophetic joke, but it's a real joke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, wait. Why are people, Teresa, I love you to death. I can see your post in here. Why are you talking about the damn 800 numbers? This is the wrong group to post about 800 numbers.
Teresa,
you'll get picked on.
Teresa, there are no 800 numbers, honey. If someone calls you by an 800 number and says, call me.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You're going to get robbed. You're going to get hurt.
April just put in the Facebook link. For those of you who are not in the Facebook group, I highly recommend you get in there because there's a ton of stuff we post in there that we don't talk about on the show.
Ever. And here's the thing about Patreon. Hold on. I'm going to clear up Patreon real quick. A lot of you people out there, that Patreon is solely for us talking about Iraqi dinar or the dong. For all you haters out there that are on Twitter, you know who you are, that said, well, this is only about dinar and about dong. You're wrong. The Patreon group is about a bunch of like-minded individuals that want to be a part of a gang, because to be a part of a gang, you'll be a part of a team, okay? that team is going to wealth build. That team talks about things way more than Dart, Dinar, and Dong, because those things are in the past to us. Wealth building means this money we already have. We're building on the wealth we don't have, okay? That's what Patreon's for. If you want to do it Patreon and make some freaking money, call me. Pip will talk to you. April will talk to you. A bunch of people that are about doing big things will talk to you. It has nothing to do with the Iraqi Dinar. Besides things I don't want to say on here about rates and dates because freaking YouTube censors me. I get flagged every video now.
Hell, they nailed you on the Patreon one. Remember that?
Yes! They got me on my Patreon video.
What do you mean?
Okay, I do want to comment about the dong really quick here, Mr. B. Give me a second, because a lot of people keep asking. Trust me, people, when I tell you this, I am watching what's going on over there in Vietnam like a hawk. I told you what's happening right now is just going to take a little time. It's going to take about a couple of months, but I promise you, and this is, I will not lie to you, and that is this. I'm watching it. As soon as anything comes up about the dong, we will let you know. I promise you we'll let you know. But people can see anything new, and right just at the moment, just know this. Good Lord, everybody over there in the South Pacific Islands, otherwise known as connected to the South China Sea, Malaysia, Taiwan, the Philippines, Vietnam, all them people, there, if you're not aware of this, there is a ton of trade agreements going on right now. Ton of them. So, JF, I'm sorry, I see your post right now coming up. You're saying, no, I'm just telling you, it's not that. It's not gonna happen.
Hey, Pimpé,
Pimpé, hold on. Let's organize for a second, kids. Hold on.
Call from Marty Brown.
Hello? Are we live?
Hello?
Hey, Mr. Brando, Miss Baby.
Hey there.
Hey.
Y'all doing good?
Yeah.
We're good. How are you doing?
I am in the middle of my sleep, but I'm just thankful I woke up during your show so I could finally actually talk to you. I always I work third shift, so I always get to
Well,
listen
we
to you after the
appreciate
fact.
you waking up to call us.
A fun fact, you know, people that work on third shift usually have sleep problems. I'm just being honest.
You know me so well. No, seriously.
I'm a sleep guy.
Sometimes
Fun fact.
you know, they give us the weekend off, and it really throws a wrench in my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for taking my call, and I am on your Patreon group, and I'm also on your Telegraph group. And there's two separate questions that I have, and I'm glad Pepe's on the line too. But I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying these are concerns, and this is a question. And then I'll get off and let you answer them.
Okay.
The first thing
Or you can stay on because you might have more questions once you answer it.
Well, let her go with her first question.
But the first thing that I saw was about the Indonesian rupiah revaluing quick soon. Something about they had closed all their banks for 9 days.
Yeah, but it wasn't just Malaysia. It was all the Taiwan, Vietnam. They did. I saw that. I know what you're talking about. They did shut it down for 9 days. I did see that.
Okay, so does that have any influence on the rupiah revaluing sooner?
You know, here's the thing. As soon as that article came out, everybody went crazy thinking that meant it was something. What I think it means, this is just my opinion, of course, and Miss April and Mr. B can jump in on it with their own opinion if they want. My opinion on it was what was going on with their banks at the time is they were just getting caught up with the changes that were happening everywhere, by the way, the Basel III software. So that's really what I thought it was, is that they were just a little behind and they were playing catch up is what I thought it was. Now, I could be wrong, but you know, we know the 9 days has already passed and we haven't heard no new news. But when it comes to anything with Vietnam, there's two websites that I watch like a hawk because even if they sneeze, it says in there, Vietnam sneezed today. And I'm like, yep, they sneezed today. You know what I mean? I'm just being silly. But what I'm saying is this. They tell you everything that goes on there. And one site is totally about a lot of the economic going on, as well as the banking. So, I already expected this to be a delay. And the reason for that is once Trump put them on the currency manipulation, they agreed to work with our government, and they had to put together some data, and then they forwarded it to our country. It's been forwarded already. I can tell you that much. So what I think is happening is, again, is just my opinion. What I think is happening is they're negotiating on what the rate should be. Now, the reason why I say that is this. Based on the GDP and everything else, and the Vietnam bill is a revaluation, not a reinstatement. But based on the GDP and everything else, it should be a minimum of 42% or 42 cents up to about $1.12. But what we really think is this. We think they're going to try to negotiate so they can compete with China, and that is a rate around 4 cents or 5 cents, okay? Don't get me wrong. I would love it to be higher than lower, but I'm not going to be mad if it's around 4 cents or 5 cents, because there's a lot of other things I could do with that. You know what I mean? But again, I think they're going to negotiate an agreement, even though they're still manipulating their currency. There's a reason why I feel like it's going to be that low. But yeah, I can tell you this: every day, at least once every 2 hours, I look on these two websites to see if there's anything going on. But I had already anticipated that this was going to take a couple of months.
Okay, so you're not just talking about the Dong, you're talking about all those countries that had closed.
Yeah, all those countries. See, now you brought up something that somebody else.
Statement, correct?
Yeah, but you brought up something somebody else asked me. He said, "Is there a reevaluation happening with all those islands?" And this is my opinion again. I do think that once it happens, it's going to trigger all those islands. I think they're all going to go at the same time. Now, that's just my opinion, and there's nothing out there that tells me that outside of the fact that there's a lot of new trade agreements going on, and they all are tied into one another. And for all of them to do what they need to do, I think they all have to be on the same page. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay, so the Indonesian rupiah and the Dong are both reinstatements.
Yes. No. They're revalues.
Revalues.
Okay,
Yeah.
whereas dinar is a reinstatement.
Okay, yes. Let me explain it. Do you know the difference between the two?
Reinstatement is like, I think I had heard y'all say that you're going back to what it was before the war.
Yes.
Pre-invasion.
Yeah,
Invasion,
pre-war.
right.
Go ahead.
Whereas the revaluation is you're revaluing it based on your assets.
Yes.
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned this from y'all, so trust me, I am so not a business person. That's not my thing, but I'm trying.
You sound like you're about your
okay.
business to me. You sound like you're a good student. You're about your business.
No, I mean, if I may say this, you can tell you're paying attention to us. Again, what we like to do is point out where the information is so people can learn as we go along, so they know what to look for. You know what I mean? It's worse. Yeah, if you go to a website and they're telling you how to think, I'm not a fan of that. If somebody comes to you and says, "This is where I'm getting the information from, come join me," this way then everybody can have their input on the opinions. That's the best way to go. And that's why I love being on Miss April and Mr. B's show, because they do that. You know what I mean? They say, "Hey, here's the info. Help yourself learn."
Okay, I'm going to go on to my second question. First of all, thank y'all for answering that. I really appreciate it. And I know that based on the Telegraph group that some other people have thought of this, but I kind of go back and forth because I'm not sure. Okay, so we are talking about in our country about a currency war, devaluing our currency. We're also talking about, when our blessing comes through and everything like that. So with that being stated, my concern is, do they occur at the same time? Or if they don't or do, how does the devaluation of the dollar, or let's say the currency reset or whatever, the crash, affect the RI for us and for the dinar here? And with the fact that Frank Dodd now allows for the banks to take our money instead of getting reimbursed from tax.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so I guess my thoughts are, okay, so I know, I love the Lord with all my heart and soul, and I believe he's doing this for a reason, and I can't see how he would do this and then not allow us to do what he wants us to do by being affected by the fact that the banks could then go and take the money that he gave us.
But there is something that they can't touch that you can keep in your house.
Right.
Hidden.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
why I'm asking. Okay, so if there is like a month in between, do you follow what I'm saying? But it seems like, that's the whole thing. We don't know.
Right.
And then I also think in order for Trump to get reelected, the economy has to stay up. So with the Fed cutting the rates, that might give the boost to the economy to keep this system going for a while longer and then not take place till after the 2020 election.
Oh, I got to respond to this. Okay, just so you know, there are 2 new appointments by Trump going into the Federal Reserve, and their main sole goal is to take us back to the gold standard, whether people out there believe it or not. There's articles out there. These appointments are being opposed by the Democrats because the Democrats like the system, corrupt, chaos, whether I just try not to be political, but they do. Trump's saying no more. Gold standard handcuffs how much money the government spends. His 2 new appointments want us to go to the gold standard. They're going to be pushing us in that direction. What people don't realize is this. In order to get there, the interest rates have to drop significantly lower. And if it does that, do you know what's going to happen to the stock market? It's going to explode. So even if it does that, and even though we're going to hit our crisis, when we come out on the other side, we're going to be in the gold standard. But what I've said this a million times, and let me just recommend this. Once the RI happens, do not hesitate. You need to find a way to take a huge chunk of your money and invest it into gold and silver. You really do. And keep it in your house. Put it in your safe. Hide it. Because that's something Uncle Sam can't get. They can't come. They can go into your banks. They've already tried this in Greece. For those of you who don't know, look it up. It just happened not that long ago. So in order to protect your wealth, you need to keep it physically with you. Because if people are going, well, keep my gold and silver in the bank, guess what? If you keep it in a safe deposit box, they'll take it from you. Okay? So keep it in your house. Hide it. Don't tell anybody where it is.
Right.
Preserve your wealth.
Let's just say you have 10 million Iraqi dinar.
Okay.
And so
80%.
Reinstates, and so this is possibly going to happen. What do? Just hold on to it till it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go take all 10 million and you're going to buy that much in gold and silver? Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
people think I'm crazy, but 80% of my money goes straight to gold and silver. 80%.
I do have silver, and I have been buying it over the since I've found out about all this and been going on with it. But what I'm saying is, because we don't know the timing, like Mr. Brando was talking about buying land and stuff like that, and you're talking about gold and silver and cryptocurrencies, which I'm also involved in, Miss DeeDee.
Cool.
So when I hear all of this, and it's not because I'm anxious, because that's going to do me no good. What I'm saying though is, like, I have an idea of what I want to do, but because we don't know the timing, you all had also spoken about holding back on some of your dinar because the price could go higher. So I guess I'm just trying to get an idea.
Some clarity, right, Marty? Some clarity.
Yeah, like what you all think about, like, the timing of this. Are we going to have some time? So if the currency does go down and the stock market explodes, does that mean the banks are going to fail?
No.
So
No.
I guess that's kind of, and that doesn't mean our economy is going to crash, which is another thing. It could be Europe. It could be others. That doesn't mean necessarily ours.
It's a worldwide crash.
Okay, hold on. Let me answer this question, okay?
Sure.
So the way I'm handling
Thank
this,
you, Pepe.
and the way I'm handling this is like this, okay? I'm not putting 80% of my money into gold. I'm not doing that. I'm putting 20% of my money into gold. I'm putting 80% of my money into doors.
Apartments.
Apartments,
Okay, I've heard you say that.
storages. Now listen, the reason why I'm doing that is if there's a crash, there will be a need for apartments. There will be a big need for storages. There will be a big need for housing. So I'm putting 80% of my money into doors, apartment complexes, storages, stuff like that. The reason is this: I will always cash flow those businesses. I can take the cash flow from that businesses, even if the real estate market crashes, and take that currency and buy gold with it. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what, I will have an out. Now, I'll take 10% of my money and I'll stick it into cryptocurrencies. I'll do that because I know Miss B was going to swing trade it every day or every other day, okay? The least amount of my money, because I'm not, listen, this is Pempe. This is not me. I don't expect a worldwide apocalypse, okay? That's not what I'm expecting. I don't expect that. After the reinstatement happens, an apocalypse is not going to happen. Get that out of your freaking minds. It's not going to happen. It's not. It's not.
I'm not convinced that it is either, but I don't know. And so when they
Okay, hold on.
Isn't it better to be safe than sorry?
Okay, but let me tell you like this. Are you going to bet on the unknown or the knowable? Bet on the known. Take your money, put it into doors, generate you some passive income that's going to make you some money. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Hold on.
Okay, so in the future, if you guys see signs of this, because I'm not.
I already seen them.
Well, can I say something?
But, I mean,
Can I speak as the female here and the more conservative woman?
Yeah.
You have to educate yourself. Invest in what you know and understand. It's better to wait than to do something you don't know. And me personally, I have to study a thing forwards and backwards before I'm sold on it. So I feel like I'm a conservative woman. I don't want to see the bottom fall out. I will do certain things, like I'll wait before I jump into something, because it's like if you go in something blindly, it's better to do what you know. And if you have no knowledge of it, the best thing you can do is educate yourself first. Don't jump into something you don't understand.
Agreed. Now, can I say this real quick? If the world's coming to an end and people need to live, okay?
yeah.
I'll put my money into gold. Okay? And I'm saying this for this reason. Because no, that's Beth. I got some more calls here. I'll tell y'all this.
But hold on a second. Let me say this. Think about
I'm not done with my thought.
Okay, go ahead.
If the world's coming to an end, it is zombie apocalypse time, okay? I'm putting my money into ammo and gold, okay? But that's not the reality of life. The reality of life is theots are going to live forever.
But think about this. If you own doors, hold on, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but you don't even have to invest in gold and silver. You want to know why? Guess how people gonna pay that rent to you?
In gold or silver.
Exactly.
That's my point.
So my point is this: when you say you're gonna invest your money in that, you don't have to. If you've already invested in doors and you believe in it wholeheartedly, people are gonna need something to barter with, and that is gold.
I'm not buying a block of gold. I'm buying 1,000 complexes. That's what I'm buying.
Oh, I will. Allow me to retort.
Go for it.
In the great words of Samuel Jackson.
Sure. Tell me how you're going to flake off 1 gram of gold to go buy some bread. It's bullshit. It's not going to happen.
There are signs out there that we look for as stock investors. Now, okay, not so much currency. There are signs out there. There are some signs that tell us 100% of the time when this happens.
Hold on, caller from Alabama. Hold on.
But go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Pempe, go ahead.
I'm going to have
Okay.
Okay.
So what happens is, just so you know,
Thank you.
No problem. There's what we call the short and long-term bonds. What's called invert. If that happens, 100% of the time, we go into recession. Not only has it happened here in December in the United States, but it has now happened in every major market around the world. This is the biggest indication that a crash is coming. Now, having said that, here's my own opinion. This is just mine. Mr. B's got his, Miss Hippo's got
Yeah.
If what we hope happens is the RI happens first. If it does, people say, what are you going to do? Oh, I can tell you 80% of the money that I get from this, 80%, is going straight to gold and silver. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm also aware that based on projections, property value will drop somewhere between 40 and 60%. If that's the case, I'd rather have my money in gold and silver. I am going to put some money in cryptocurrency.
Hold on. Stop right there. No, stop right there.
Wait, I didn't get a chance
No,
to
I'm going to stop you right there. Rents will not change, Pimpe. If a rent's $1,000 a month, it's $1,000. It doesn't matter. If I got $1,000 at $1,000, I'm up $1 million a month. Gold, silver, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Wait. This is not a private discussion. You guys are on the air. Let him go ahead and finish
You're
his
not
thought.
listening to me.
Okay, go ahead, Pepe.
So that's fine. You paid $1 million for an apartment complex. And
I never told you I paid for it.
Great deal. 60% of mine, I paid $400,000 for your same size apartment complex, and I get $1,000 per month. So I'm saving what? Oh, 400 to 600,000.
Not if it's tied up in gold, Pimpe. Pimpe, hold up. Not if it's tied up in gold. I will have bought that deal and sold that deal way before you ever did. I'm sorry. You can't exchange it fast enough.
Okay, let me ask you this way. Let me say
Go ahead, ask me.
Me and you were looking at the same apartment complex, the same one.
Right? What are you gonna give him? Gold?
$1 million right now, and you want to jump on it for $1 million, right? Okay, I know better.
Pimpe, first of all, hold on. Pimpe, first of all, no. There's no point. Hold on. Stop. There's a point. This is it. You don't know what my negotiating tax point is going to be when I buy that complex. So you don't know if I'm going to buy it for $1 million. I'm going to buy it for what the cash flow dictates. That's it. Not gold, not silver. There's no stock market. There's no Dow. There's no bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm not standing for that.
Okay,
That's bullshit.
Is either worth X amount of dollars or X amount of dollars.
I think you guys should talk personally offline.
We'll talk later. Stop.
Property value is going to drop.
And I don't care if it does. I'll still buy it under market value, even if it drops.
It's 18.
Oh my God! Stop thinking about a zombie apocalypse. It's not going to happen.
You guys are making it personal. Wait, you guys are making it
It's
personal.
not personal at all.
Everybody's like, guys, calm down.
Oh my
You are
God!
live. This is not a private conversation with you and Pepe.
Oh! We'll let you all go. We'll go on
Yeah.
Patreon and have this conversation.
No, y'all need to have a private conversation because nobody can hear what y'all saying. Y'all talking over each other. Like, you can feel how you feel, and Pepe, he'll feel how he feel. But that's not educating your viewers. Okay, guys. Have a good evening. Talk to y'all later.
See you at The Walking Dead.